There are many people that just think, oh, he cheated on me, leave, or he cheated on me, stay. It's not that black and white, and it's not that straightforward. Hi, my name is OPE Gregory, and I am an infidelity recovery specialist and also an intimacy consultant practicing as a romance concierge. As an infidelity recovery specialist, what that basically means is that if you or your spouse has cheated, stepped out on your marriage, we work at different, equip you with different tools to make your marriage work. So you may need somebody to intervene and help you along that journey of healing, taking you from the pain of discovering that your spouse cheated, or from the pain of you even cheating on your spouse, to that recovery stage where you're like, okay, how do I make this marriage work? I've breached the trust that I've had. I've disappointed myself or disappointed my spouse. How do we make this marriage work? It's not that easy, and it's not that straightforward. So we help you on a journey through counseling, one-on-one, and together as a couple, we take you on a journey. It's normally it's best for the two of you to be together. That's the man and the wife, irrespective of who has cheated. But most of the time, we find ourselves, helping individuals along the journey of either forgiving and moving on, or forgiving and staying in your marriage. So yeah, that's what we do. And then as an intimacy consultant and also, and a romance concierge, it works hand in hand. So you need things to spice up your marriage, sex life, romance. You don't know how to communicate. There's certain things that you want to celebrate. You want to celebrate your wife's or your spouse's birthday, anniversary. You just want to go on vacations. You want to do different things. We help you. We put together some packages for you, some nice sizzling toys there for you, and equipment, activities for you and your husband or you and your wife to enjoy. And pretty much that's what it's. So basically, sex and marriage enhancers is what we provide for you. How important is fidelity in marriage? It's highly important. I mean, nobody gets married to be cheated on, unless you have your arrangement. But we're talking about a godly marriage between a man and a woman, one-on-one. So how important it is 100% important. It's nothing come close. Like, I wouldn't want to sit here and say that I will give liberty to my husband to share my husband with another woman, or vice versa, or me sharing or my husband sharing me with another man. So yeah, definitely very, very important, of the utmost importance. However, if you do find yourself in the space where you've cheated, or your husband or your spouse has cheated, it doesn't necessarily mean the end to marriage. And I'm also here to change the notion of once a cheat is always a cheat. I mean, we've heard that said over and over again. So it doesn't necessarily need to be like that. 100%. All hope is not lost if you or your spouse has cheated in a marriage. In a relationship, you can definitely make things work. I think one of the things I tell my clients all the time is that you can't have a marriage by yourself. And if one party is willing to make the marriage work and the other isn't, then you will reach a compromise. So it definitely is possible to fix and to carry on and enjoy your marriage, but it takes work, and it takes the two of you coming together to make that work. One person cannot say that you want to make it work and the other person is either going on and still cheating. Then that's abuse. It's no longer a marriage. A marriage is a partnership. A marriage is two people coming together and making things work. Number one, you need to definitely reach out. You need someone to take you on this process. Like I said, what our job is to highlight things that you may or may not know and bring it in the open. We ask leading questions. We ask questions that make you think and gives you plays your realities in the open for you. You may be thinking along a certain line or interpret something in a certain way. We bring it to light. We shed more light on it. There are things that we equip you with, things like understanding the why, knowing why your spouse cheated, or knowing why you cheated, the discovery stage, discovering yourself after infidelity, knowing what you want. So those are the kind of steps that we take you on, and then ultimately lead you to that place where you will make the decision and say, yes, I want to stay, or no, I don't want to stay. And one of the things that I would highlight here also, I don't know who I'm talking to out there, but I don't know who it's for, but I just wanted to just throw the message out there that just because you have children and your spouse cheated and you want to stay, your children or your child is not a good enough reason to stay in a marriage. If you're being abused, and I see infidelity as a form of abuse, right? Especially the continuous cheating. You know your self-worth. And that's one of the things that we highlight and help you with, knowing your self-worth, demanding for your self-worth, showing up differently so that your spouse receives you differently and sees that you're not the person that, he or she used to be. Okay, so infidelity is when you or your spouse steps out on your marriage. What do I mean by step out? You are interested or showing interest, a form of interest in another person outside of your husband or your wife. So what do I mean by showing interest? Because a lot of the time, a lot of people think that infidelity means just sex. So there's various types of infidelity. There's emotional, there's financial, there's cyber, internet, there's the physical one, obviously going all the way, and there's different types. There's the long-standing relationship, there's one-night stands, there's the one that I don't like to share, but a lot of people call it the mistake, and there's the types that you have at work, so you have like a work husband or wife, so yeah, infidelity can take place in different forms. Now, just because infidelity did not happen physically, so you didn't cheat or have sex with someone who isn't your husband or your wife, doesn't lessen the pain, doesn't lessen the effect that it has, the trauma that it has on your spouse, the hurt partner. So the unfaithful partner can just think that, oh, what was I doing? I was just exchanging texts, or I was exchanging nudes, or I was exchanging whatever. I didn't do anything physical. But that is as much of a difficult thing for your hurt partner to receive than even the going all the way. So do not lessen the pain. Every pain and trauma of infidelity, whether physical, emotional, financial, cyber, no matter what it is, every pain of infidelity is valid. And then you have many questions. Like I said earlier, we help you ask the right questions. So nobody should come out here and say to me, oh, because it wasn't physical, it's not really cheating. Every pain and every trauma that comes with infidelity is valid. So when it comes to sharing or airing your grievances when it comes to infidelity, I always say, go to a professional first, right? Especially to do in a relationship and a marriage. When you tell your family members, because they love you and care for you, they may in turn attack your spouse. And when you have now gone through the recovery and you decide to stay, they're still hurting, they're still grieving. So I think it's best for you to go to a professional. And I'm not saying it because I want you to come to me. I've just seen the damage that in the long run is being quiet and going to your mom or your sibling or friends. I think it's very important to go to a professional who knows what they're doing, has both of your best interests at heart, and it's not tailored to one person, right? So if you come to my family if you go to your family members, they have your best interest at heart. So they're going to tell you to do everything to quote unquote get you out of that situation. Whereas your husband or your wife is left because your family members is telling you to do something that may and may not result in you being together. So our key is the togetherness. Like I said, there's individual recovery and there's also couples recovery that we take you on the journey. And so, yeah, speak to a professional, speak to a trusted person if you can't afford a professional service, but you need to know that you need to speak to people who know their onions. You can't just go to everybody because they call themselves a pastor. No disrespect to any pastor out there. Doesn't necessarily mean that they will be able to equip you with the tools. And then also you need someone who is not close to you or your spouse to be able to give you informed, to allow you to make informed decisions.